Alrighty. Team Alliance is gonna be. Team Alliance is. Okay, here we go. Team Alliance is gonna be Certified Rage, Kryer, with Sharia going up first, looking for them rogues. Gonna find. What is that, Durks? That's not Durks, that's actually T-Foz? That's gonna be Fox. That's gonna be Fox. T-Fox Z. Gonna go as an Outlaw Rogue versus Sharia. Chicken coming out of Sharia pretty early on. As parry, killing spree, adrenaline rush, and plunder armor available for Fox. Gonna get advantage. Sharia's gonna go up in the air. Gonna have to look for the rogue again. Is he gonna get a pot shots at Durks, I guess, for no reason. It's gonna be full reheal for the rogue. Gonna rip him with a cheap shot. While the rogue is doing his thing, we also have Zakati for Team Alliance. We also have Yuana with a nice little crown. We got Fox playing right now versus Sharia. Getting Sharia locked down, another stun lock as he's sitting in darkness. Stun coming down onto Fox. Gonna check it out of that stun. It's gonna be I-Beam with the blind on DK. Gonna go for a reset. While he's doing it, we also got Sugars sitting on the side of the Survival Hunter. We got Subzi. We also got Duplin. And we got Durks. Wait, Durk's playing? Oh my god, Xanda! That's so good. Fox is gonna stun up short. It's gonna be Mallet Chicken coming down. It's gonna fly at Fox though. Not gonna be able to get any kind of healing. Does burn a healing concoction regardless. Sage Chicken coming down for Fox as well. Sharia Sage Chicken coming down too, but he's getting so much healing off of Fox. Fox trying to grapple hook out of it. Sharia looks like he might be able to finish him. Does land him into an prison. Does Sharia have enough damage? He's gonna blade dance after him, and Sharia recovers with a bit of healing. Subzi's up next, trying to get some damage onto Sharia. Sharia has Blur available, so he's going to pop Blur a little bit early. Gonna go up in the air. Subzi is popping him, and is going to have to go behind the pillar. Vivify is coming down. That's why Sharia was able to avoid at least one portion of the burst from Subzi before he got hit with the whole in-cap stun lock wombo combo. That's why Sharia just continuing to run away from Subzi as fast as he can. Subzi's actually having to chase after a Demon Hunter. Mobile class versus a mobile class. Sharia's just trying to get a setup going. Does get rooted out in the open. Stun coming on to Subzi. Into an I-Beam. Sharia has the burst wombo combo ready. It's going to be Fist of Fury available. Sharia needs to bail out of the Fist of Fury as Whirling Dragon Punch came up. It's going to knock a good chunk of health out of Sharia. But it's still trucking along. There's going to be Demon Form down out of that meta. Going to be able to activate Short Blur. It's going to use the Warlock Gateway to break away from Subzi. Very interesting mobility. Subzi is going to have to find a way to deal with this. In prison coming out early on Subzi. Does Sharia maybe can pick up a Warlock Hellstone? Did Kryer drop one? Does Kryer? Maybe Kryer should drop one just in case everybody has one. Sharia's gonna get in. It's gonna be an in-cap onto him. Is that gonna be full stun lock combo? Wombo, we're gonna check it out immediately. That's gonna be Fist of Fury coming down. Gonna be able to I-Beam through that. Gonna get hit with an interrupt. That's gonna be maybe Karma coming down to Subzi, and that's gonna be Karma out of him. Sharia's gonna bail out of the Subzi. Needs to go for self-heal. Wants to use the Karma to do some damage to Sharia, but can he finish it? No, he can. Gonna go for Vivify, and Sharia now has the advantage because no more Karma available. Stun coming down. Chicken's out of it with a pre-wall. Sharia needs to get a defensive going right now. Is gonna blade dance through a little bit of this damage. It's going to be both of these guys just trying to fight it out to the end. It's going to be Subzi porting out with a wall. Vivify's coming out. Emperor's coming out for Sharia. And Sharia's going to get a stun to Subzi. Not before Subzi does get a big old kick into Sharia. Into his back. Up next is going to be Certified. Rolling up onto Subzi. Going to get a rake stun. Once he get the comp points rolling, that was the shortest stun in the world. Realizing his mistake. Going to get Thorns up and running with a big old rip onto Subzi. That's going to be a big old touch of death. And Subzi has to Fist of Fury into those thorns. That is the worst position ever. He's going to try to get a heal off that in-cap, but that's going to be Certified. Taking out Subzi with a big old bleed. Shouldn't be hitting a feral into all those thorns. That's going to be up next. Durk's Brian. Going to go for a big old stun. Wombo combo to Certified Rage. Get hit with the bash. Not going to trick it out of it. This way Certified gets to put all these bleeds onto Durk's to try doing some damage. Big old bite coming out. It's going to be Mally onto Certified to follow him. Certified is going to go for heals through this Mally. Wall coming out as Durks is going to get himself a killing spree up and running. Parry coming in a little bit early. This is where the Durk's Brian Xanda is going to keep chasing after Certified. Maybe he can get a slower too. Keeps slows on Certified though the whole time. Then if I try to go for a resell, he's going to get the Moonfires up and running. Catch himself a resell onto Durk's Brian for just a second. He's going to be checking out Durk's Brian though. There's going to be a stun coming in onto Certified Rage. Does get out of roots pretty shortly though. Let's continue to pummel damage Certified. This is why Cloak of Shot is coming out. Oh, no, it isn't. He actually went for a blind. I was expecting a cloak. That's going to be no trinket out of Certified. Gonna sit it. Waiting for the next stun, 100%. Gonna break out of it, hopefully, hoping to maybe spam some damage. But I think he's done. Durk's go for a cheap shot into a full stun. Or half stun, and even that might end up killing Certified Rage. Exactly what Durk's went for. That's gonna be a big old cheap shot. Bash coming out. Does Certified have anything to deal with Durk's Brian? Could maybe go for a root? No, we're gonna try to land a Cyclone Kick coming out for Durk's. The Certified is a bad spot. Needs to find a way to deal with the Rogue, but looks like might not be able to. Cyclone trying to come out. Gouge coming in. Certified is out of cooldowns. That's gonna be a big old stun, and Certified does go down to Durk's. Does Durk's have any bleeds? Gonna get a reroll going. Let's make sure that he's ready for the next team. 1% dampening coming in. That's going to be Kryer up next versus Durk's. Destra Warlock versus Outlaw. I want to see how Durk's does it, man. I want to see how he works with this. Because it might be easy for him. Might not be. It looks like that was an early... What was that gouge? I guess maybe Kryer picked up the eye, which is why the pet ran after him. Which is why he gouged the pet. I think he went and tried to go for a sap on a pet. But the pet was already in combat, so gouge had to go for it. Stop the cast. But I was trying to get a cast on the Durk's. And Durk's is just trying to avoid it. Summon Succubus is coming out for Kryer. Getting a brand new Succubus right now. One that doesn't have all that held down. And Durk's actually going to be able to get some damage to Kryer. Going to get a stun, but as Durk's gets rooted out in the open with a pet CC to follow. He's actually out just in the open. Kryer's just walking by him with a Cataclysm afterwards. That's going to be Durk's a little bit too close to Kryer though. Another root coming down, and Durk's needs to find a way to deal with the Shadow Fury. Going to get stunned up. Casbolt to follow. Incinerates to come out right afterwards. This is where Durk's in a bad position. Mallet coming out to Durk's a little bit early. Gonna get a Mallet rolling onto Kryer as well. Actually doing a lot of damage to Kryer off of that. Wall coming in early for the Warlock. Immolates are trying to come out. His Skill Spear rolls in for Durk's Brian. It's gonna be a big old Infernal dropping on top of his head though. Doesn't have Crooked Shadows anymore. He's gonna have to find and run away from the Warlock. He needs to go for heals as much as he can. Won't be able to go for his Xander heal because of all the dots and the pets that are attacking him. Is gonna be able to dip away though with that vanish. Does he have any dots on him? If he doesn't have any dots, he could run to the room and go for a big heal. Maybe he's waiting for Kryer to go pick up eyes. Looks like Durk's actually might go for the Xander regenerating. Is he gonna go for it? Creating some vials. Could just regenerate to top himself off, or maybe wants to use it for a later purpose. Gonna see Kryer. Kryer's actually gonna see him ahead of time. Gonna get him into root. Cataclysm coming out. Stun coming onto Kryer, but that Cataclysm still does go off. Petsy C to follow. Trickets out of the Petsy C. Kryer is gonna get a horror effect into a Fear Chain combo. Wamba to follow onto Durk's. No Cloaker Shot is available. Gonna have to eat a Cannibal while he's rooted out in the open. Shadow Fear to follow. Another Cannibal getting loaded up. Durk's Brian's gonna have to eat another one. That's going to be a lot of damage that's going to keep a dot on him up and running. Gonna gouge into the pet. Gonna roll for buffs. Gonna get a blind to Kryer. Looks like the damage on the pet might be enough to take out Durk's Bind. He's going to go for a short regenerate. I don't think he even got a tick of that regenerating. Yeah, with all the dots and the pet attacking him, I don't think he got a single tick of regenerating out of that. He didn't get any value, but he does get himself a restealth. The AoE does get him out though. Kryer's not out of the game. Neither is Durk's. Durk's is going to go for another big heal. Make it more concoction, 60% dampening. And that's where it's going to be Durk's resetting himself. Eyes available for Kryer. Is Durk's going to attack him out of nowhere? Going to get rooted out in the open again. Needs to stop happening. That needs to stop happening. So for Durk's, it's going to be a difficult duel versus Kryer. As long as Kryer gets to find him and gets his C-chain on him. Looks like Durk's out of the game. I think Durk's gave up, man. He was like, you know what? I don't have a trinket. Cloaker Shot is coming up very soon. I'm done. I am done. I'm just going to let Kryer finish me off. I can't do it. Looks like he ran out of cooldowns at that point. It's going to be a big old CC onto Duplin. Going to trick it out of an interrupted Kryer onto Casbolt while Kryer has big cooldowns rolling with Dark. So this is where Kryer could go for some big chain CC onto Duplin. Going to eat a Malik, but Duplin is going to eat the CC chain back to back. And Kryer is actually playing defensive with that fear. Actually just going to run away from Duplin, trying to get a root on him off the bat. Is going to trick it out of that stun. Has the Warlock Gateway if he needs to run. Is going to get charged onto Interrupt coming in onto the Shadow Fury. That's going to be no CC available onto Duplin for a while. Going to get a Fury, even Fury on his pet. Going to get some beef and damage rolling onto Kryer. Trying to get a Shadow Fury up and running. I think Duplin tried to go for a Reflect, but that's just an AoE stun. That's not going to happen. Kryer is continuing to get some damage, trying to let a Fury onto Duplin. Being a warrior and undead, she'll be able to break out of it easily. Gets another interrupt into Casbolt. The pet CC comes in though, complete ADDONS. It's going to burn the end. That, I guess, the Rachel this time. So he burned both abilities to get him out of any kind of fear or charms. That's going to be back-to-back Casbolts loading up for Duplin. Not before he slams Kryer with a stun. It's going to be a horror effect into an immolate. Into a root. Maybe Kryer could go for a big old Casbolt. Gonna go for Infernalings. Land a Casbolt in midway of that. That's gonna be a big old effect for Duplin. And Kryer is just gonna Cataclysm on top of himself. That's gonna be an interrupt for Duplin though. And Kryer in a bad spot. Isn't an actually good range. Gonna get another Casbolt into Duplin. The Infernal's doing a fair amount of damage. Trying to go for another damage into another Cataclysm. Duplin does go down at the very end with barely enough health. And Kryer does get to get away scot-free with barely any health. With barely any. Sugar's gonna give him an honor duel. That is the question. Sugar's looks he's got it out there, man. Coming at him. Gonna get dots up and running. Yep, gonna get dots up and running. Kryer, I think, maybe was waiting in case this guy will give him an honor duel. That's gonna be a horror effect. Trickets out of it into a fear. Kryer is left with a pet. Still needs to find a way to heal himself. Gonna pull the pet back and probably just drain life for a little bit, huh? As a Warlock, he doesn't have a lot of ways to recover his health. Has a fair set amount of health. Has strong health. As you can see, he's still really tanky with that armor buff, even though it's nerfed in 8.15. But that's gonna be the last grenade to end him, and Sugars gets to run away scot-free. It's gonna be Iwana up next with images coming out. It's gonna be a big old CC stun lock wombo combo by Iwana, but that's gonna be defenses out of Sugars though. Should eat a lot of damage for the touch of death, but still gonna survive it. Pop in another defensive while he's getting hit, and while he's gonna locked out by the Fist of Fury. Continue to get some damage to Iwana. Gonna get a stun up into the Monkus. Gonna get some distance away and gonna be able to get a bunch of Monkus bites. Iwana is gonna close the gap as best as he can, as a monk can. Gonna get a slow into a root while Charge Trap does go down. Iwana is still continuing to pump damage into. Oh my god, Sugars actually went for a freezing trap with a little bit of heal. You want to chicken side of it with a ring of peace, and no, Turtle Shell coming out for Sugars. And down to go. That was a good set of duels, man. That was a good set of duels, boys. Let's go. Let's go. How y'all doing? What's up, Dal? I see you rocking. I'm always looking to work and streaming. Hell yeah, what's up, Puerto Rico? How you doing, my man? Yeah, I haven't turned in ages, but my god, is that mustache fucking amazing. What's up, Tissy? How you doing?